And welcome to episode 8. I hate to do it to you, but after some additional play testing, Unit 6 Alpha here, which we routed last time along this wooded path to go over and protect the other bridge, kept getting caught up in the woods. Now, that hadn't happened before, so I'm not sure why it started to happen all of a sudden. But for all intents and purposes, they were so late getting over there to their destination that they were useless. So what we're going to do is just take 6 Alpha here. We're going to drag him over here into this clearing, delete his initial route right here just by highlighting it and hitting the delete key. And then we're going to give him a different route. Now we also need to clean up this route here, so we can go ahead and click on this route from waypoint 3 and hit delete there. We'll get rid of that. And then if we scroll the map around using the arrow keys, we'll go up here and we'll be able to use this waypoint 5 again here in a moment, so we'll leave that alone. I want to do a couple of different things with 6 Alpha, mostly for demonstration purposes. I'm not sure that you would do this in a real game, but it has its uses, and I'll show you how to do it anyway. So what I want to do is divide this unit in half. So if we right-click this guy and say divide unit, okay, we're going to get a section of 2 and a single tank, since this is a 3 unit or 3 tank platoon. So what we're going to do is spread these guys out a little bit so they don't all get confused when they start moving. So we'll put one down here, and maybe we'll put the single one up here. All right, then we're going to set a very short initial route, and we can make this an engage route since it's a single unit. So we'll do that, and we're just going to sort of set it right there on the road, and then right-click to end it. And that's going to give us our kickoff waypoint, just as we did for all of the other units. Now, from waypoint 6, since we're going to share this route, it's going to have to be a march route to keep the platoon of 2 in column. So we'll do march, and then we're basically just going to work our way up the map here up to that waypoint 5. So no different really than anything you did before. We're just going to move them over here where they'll be less likely on this major road to get caught up in the woods. And it also has the side effect of kind of getting them up into our battle position a little faster than we otherwise would. All right, so that'll move them along that route up to waypoint 5. So now we can do the section of 2, and we'll give them just an initial route. And again, we'll use march so we keep them in column. And we'll just get them onto the road, and then move them up to waypoint 6. All right, so now both of those units will head down that road and get up here to number 5 waypoint. Now, the reason I split the unit was I wanted to be able to demonstrate a couple of things to you. So right now, both of these units are going to stop here at waypoint 5. Let's say we don't want to do that. Okay, maybe we want them to do something different, and we want it to be a little variable. The worst thing about some scenarios is they're completely predictable. Once you play them, you know exactly how they're going to play out every time. It's best if you can do things to avoid that and to give the blue player some challenge and some uncertainty. So what we're going to do here is we're going to make a route from waypoint 5. Okay, we'll do new route, and we'll make it an engage route because I'm going to use just the single tank for this. Okay, so let's take him across the bridge. And bring him out right to the edge of this woods here. All right, and then at waypoint 7, let's give them defend tactics again. And let's set their focus point sort of out here somewhere where the circle actually turns clear. So we may have to adjust waypoint 7 a little bit so that we get the viewpoint that we want. Okay, so here now he's got a pretty good view of anybody coming off that road. We can widen his surveillance cone a little bit so that he looks around a little bit more. All right, so whoever's here at waypoint 7 now is going to be able to observe this avenue of approach. Now, it's not likely anybody's ever going to be coming in through here. Now, what we want to do is we don't always want our single tank to end up out here. So let's make another route from waypoint 5. Again, we'll make it an engage route. And this time we're going to send him back to this intersection and down along the dirt road so that he comes out over here by this other bridge. Okay, we'll put him right there and end that. And over here at waypoint 8, we'll give him a tactic of defend. And this time we're going to point him down the other bridge. Okay, so he might potentially be guarding that bridge as well. Now you might be asking yourself, okay, how is the same tank going to handle two waypoints? We're going to do that with conditional routes as we've done before, but with a twist. So let's click on this route that goes up to waypoint 7, right click on it, and do an embark if. Okay, now we're going to give a condition. So we want to embark if this unit is 4/6 alpha. Okay. So 4/6 alpha, if that unit reaches waypoint 5, it will embark on this route. Now you might be asking yourself, okay, well if we did that down here, we still got the same problem. 4/6 alpha is going to want to embark on both routes. What that means is we need one more condition, and we're going to get that by using these conditional boxes. So this big box here that currently says and in it, if necessary, you can click that and it'll toggle over to or, but in this case we want and, so make sure to set it back. And then we're going to use the very first extra condition here, and we're going to just click on it to turn it green. And then down here we're going to use the random variable. All right, so we're going to leave it at 0. We can't leave it at the word new. We have to pick one of these variables, and they're always named x and a number. So we'll go ahead and use x1 right now. And let's make it 50 in this right-hand box. So the way this condition works is when the game kicks off, Steel Beast is going to apply a value randomly to this x1 variable. And that value could be anywhere from 0 to 100. You don't know what it is. Blue player doesn't know what it is. Steel Beast is going to randomly choose it when the scenario starts, and it will keep that value for the entire game. What we've told this conditional route is that if this unit is 4/3 or 4/6 alpha and variable x1 is between 0 and 50, then take the route to waypoint 7. Okay, so let's say OK. And now you might have figured this out already. Oops, I missed it. Okay, if we do an embark if on this route, again, we're going to say if this unit is 4/6 alpha and variable x1 is between 50 and 100. Okay, and you'll notice that it's actually it's a little bit different here. It's less than or equal to on this side and less than on this side. So that's how you're able to use the same number on either side. So the other place it was 0 is less than or equal to x1, which is less than 50. So it means essentially it's 0 to 49. And for waypoint number 8, it's going to be from 50 up through less than 100 or 99. So essentially it's a 0 to 99 scale rather than a 1 to 100 scale, but it works exactly the same way. All right, so now we have a conditional waypoint with some variation. So now there's a 50-50 chance that blue's not going to know exactly where 4-6 alpha is. Now that's the power of those X1 variables, is they allow you to apply some real-world randomness or real-world uncertainty to the actions that your AI units would otherwise just robotically take. So it's very good technique to know, and you always want to keep that in mind. You know, how can I provide some additional playability, and how can I randomize what happens so that blue can never be exactly sure what he's going to run into. All right, so now what we've got is we've got the bulk of 6 alpha, the 2 tanks sitting here at waypoint 5, and we've got 4-6 alpha defending one of these 2 waypoints. Now, let's say 4-6 alpha's here, blue destroys it and starts to come down the bridge. Okay, the rest of 6 alpha will probably get a shot or so off, but they don't want to just sit there. So maybe we want them, once they've been engaged, maybe we'd like them to actually back up a little bit. So what we're going to do here is we're going to make another route from waypoint 5, and we're going to call it a retreat route this time. And we're going to back them up just to this intersection. Okay, so right about there. And when they get to waypoint 9, click on the 9, and we're going to give them a tactic again of defend. Okay, again, we want to point their focus point down the road. Okay, so as blue comes around that corner, he's going to get another surprise because he may think the other guys have withdrawn when in fact they've just repositioned. All right. So now, if we zoom this in so we can see that route, we don't want necessarily 4-6 alpha to catch that route. So let's make that route conditional also. So if we right click on it, we'll do embark if this unit is unit 1-6 alpha. Okay, so the only unit that'll take that retreat route is 1-6 alpha. Now, we don't want him to take it as soon as he gets to the number 5 waypoint. Okay, we want him to take it only if something happens. So we'll use another and condition here, and we'll say if you're 1-6 alpha and unit 1-6 alpha is under direct fire. All right, so now once the enemy fires back at 1-6 alpha, he'll take this route and retreat back to here where he'll stand and fight. All right, so we'll zoom out a little here. All right, I think that's going to be enough for this time. I keep this one a little short, but as you can see now, we've got 6 alpha split off from the main body. And now it's time for a little play testing. So I'd encourage you to start the scenario up in the test mode and simply make sure that the units get out here to waypoint 5 and that 4-6 alpha goes to either waypoint 7 or waypoint 8. As long as that happens, then you can be pretty confident that you've done the work correctly, you've got the routes conditioned, and if you really wanted to test further, you could send a blue unit down here, get a shot off at 1-6 alpha, and make sure that he retreats back to waypoint 9. And that's good for now. Next time when we come back, we're going to work on routing the rest of the units on the western side up into the objective and get it under observation and hopefully, eventually under occupation. And with that, I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching this series.